top Libra, I'm getting a lot of y'all are heartbroken and a lot of finances. Like, okay, some of you Libras, I got the Three of Swords, which tells me that there's some type of separation or heartache. Um, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy, more so Aquarius, Gemini energy. Because after I pulled the star card, so that just goes to show that maybe you're something that you anticipated on going one certain way didn't is not panning out the way that it's not what you expected it to be. So the Two of Pentacles is like, so then I pulled the Two of Pentacles, and for me, the Two of Pentacles represents um, borrowing one person to pay another person, and that doesn't necessarily have to go as far as like just money. It just means like juggling funds, juggling emotions, juggling people. Maybe this person is juggling a lifestyle with the third dimension and the fourth dimension. Third dimension is your basic needs, fourth dimension is your spiritual needs. So it could be you could be this person's everything in the fourth dimension, but since they reside in third dimension, that's where all their like past trauma and influences, that's the 3D is the person that they are influenced to be, whereas the fourth dimension is who you are. So they're battling with who they are, who they truly are, and the person that the world told them to be, if that makes any sense. So basically, it just tells me that maybe this person is juggling multiple people around. With this star card and the Three of Swords, that just lets me know right now a lot of y'all are very, very, very disappointed. Why? What is going on? Why are they? What is causing this? What? I think it's very important that we self-reflect on why and how it got the way that it got. Yeah, I got the Seven of Cups. So basically, with the Seven of Cups, like your outcome is not set in stone. You may feel like, okay, maybe you said something to this person that steered them another way, but for the most part, like this person, like the situation is not set in stone. With the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Cups is saying like that it could be, this person could very much so be like their actions are not lining up with their words, but that's only because they're fighting demons that really no one can like stuff that happened before we have to get out of the energy of taking things personal. I feel like maybe a lot of y'all are a victim of deceit, but something happened which caused some type of separation in between you and your mate, or some type of disconnect. And that's just because I feel like, honestly, as far as you guys' structure goes, it's a lot of juggling going on. So like I said, this person could like could have a lot of basic sense, but they could still be, like, for instance, suffering from a childhood experience. Like, for instance, this person could be the best father they can be the best, like, the best everything. They could be good in their community, but when it comes to being their mate, they could be very difficult, because in order for them to be with someone like you, it would require them to do the spiritual work. So I say this to say, what would be the outcome? And like with my readings, I don't like to say this is what's gonna happen. This, because at the end of the day, that's what the cards are for. It's the cards are put in place for us to do better, and for us to make better decisions. Okay, so then I got some Swords energy, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. And this could be you. But for the most part, you're feeling stabbed in the back because of something. With I got the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this is definitely an incident, conflict, or tension, like some type of argument with somebody that you were like building something with. This is somebody who you thought were going to be your forever. So with that being said, or somebody that you anticipate on spending a long time with, but in the world that we're stepping into, not everybody can go where you're going. Like I said, sometimes it's very best to just let go. Like I said, this person has the sense to do right and do better, but because they're fighting these demons, that is what is stunting your growth. And honestly, you have to love yourself enough to let go of this situation just right now. Now, this might not apply to all, and I know it hurts, but if a situation, sometimes things don't happen for you. I mean, things don't happen to you, it happens for you. So with that being said, it's time to really get centered and ground yourself and ask yourself, because you have to self-reflect and take accountability for how you let it get this far. At the end of the day, it's their karma, the way that they treat you. It's ultimately your karma, the way that you respond. So don't get into the energy right now. I don't think it's time for you to get into the energy of making any moves or making any moves out of emotion or any moves out of hurt or anger. Right now, it's really time to ground yourself and really get down to the bottom of why this person is the way that they are. Because when you attempt to get down to the bottom of why they are who they are, you will learn so much about yourself. So right now, with this energy going on, I feel like this definitely has something to do with a loved one, maybe somebody who you thought you were going to start. I got a lot of Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. Yeah, a lot of Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy. What other energy is surrounding? Give me 2 cards for the Libras. Give me advice for messages for the Libras. Give me messages for the Libras. God, guardian angel, give me messages for the Libras. Give me 2 cards for the Libras. Oh, we got 3. I feel like with this 2 of Wands energy, maybe you were in a situation where you knew, it's like you fought for these answers. You fought for this answer. You fought for this type of response. And now that you got the response, that's like suspecting or accusing your mate of doing something for months, but them not admitting it. So you dig deep to try to figure out if it's true or not. And then it's like when you you spend all these months and you finally get the answer you're looking for, you realize it's not a good feeling. So that's why it's very important to not get yourself so low to where you put all this energy into getting the answer that you wanted when you lost sense of yourself. Like that's the energy that I'm getting. So it's like a win-lose situation. Yeah, you won the argument, but you lost the person. And I think it's very important for us to release those old cycles when it comes to just discipline, period. Just because, for instance, if you're dealing with somebody and just because they do something wrong, we are trained to discipline. Whenever somebody does something wrong, we discipline them. So what do? We put them in timeout. But if you think about it, when you were a kid, when you got put in timeout, you weren't thinking about what you did. And that's the point of being in there. But I think a lot of us can identify with the time where we were put on timeout and we weren't thinking about what we did. We were thinking about getting off of the punishment. And ultimately, like, punishment, like, as far as disciplinary skills go, you hurt yourself. So yeah, he cheated on you. So instead of you getting down to the bottom of why he cheated and trying to understand him as a human being, you put him on timeout because that's what we're programmed to do. But that doesn't get down to the bottom of it. You and this person have to come to a harmonious place. You have to do some self-reflecting. And we have to understand the difference between masculine and feminine energy and understand, like, and this is unisex. This can go for anybody. But we have to understand that in order for us to really be able to, like, be in these relationships that we ever so want so bad, like we want so bad, like I'm talking like high vibrational relationships, high healthy vibrational relationships. Not all of us wants that, but for the most part, most of us do. In order to have that, it is very important for you to humble yourself. Like, at the end of the day, humble yourself. And I'm not saying humble yourself for nobody else. Ground yourself and understand that just because you are always right, just because you never cheated on that person and that person cheated on you, that does not make you that doesn't mean that you're like you can't be immune to error. That doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just because the 3D realm says, oh, a woman not supposed to cheat, a woman's supposed to do this, a woman's supposed to do that, that does not mean that you're right and they're wrong. Like, there is no right and wrong when you're in a relationship with somebody. If I sit up here and say the sky is blue, but you colorblind and you say the sky is pink, who's wrong? Because we both have two different perceptions. So I think it's very important that you, like, try to empathize with this person and understand why they are instead of comforting your own insecurities. I do see that some of y'all are in a soulmate connection, and it very much could be that. But the thing with these soulmate connections is, if you aren't learning from one another equally, it will never work out.